Hello and welcome to episode 32 of What If Civilization Started Over. Let's get into it. So we're almost at the ending stages of the gap of the stuff that happened between the discovery of the Americas and what the Americas are like now. We're almost at the end of that. So we're gonna start with the Daily Japan update. So let's put capitals on. If you don't, you probably can tell, but capitals changed. And I think the Russian capital was supposed to be, was it? Yeah. Capitals changed because, at the end of oh, I forgot a country. At the end of last episode, the capitals just got deleted. I don't know, somewhere in the last episode. But let's just start with the Daily Japan update. So what's going to happen is the light blue Japan country is going to attack the dark blue Japan country, and the light blue Japan country is also going to attack the purple Japan country, and the purple Japan country is going to be gone. But then a rebellion happens down here, and that takes over all of this territory. And then this thing here is going to attack this island. It's not technically Japan, but it was part of Japan. Or at least the Japanese Empire that was once here. And that is our update. And the capital's gonna go here. Now we can look at the Koreas. This encirclement thing here is big. Yeah. This thing here holds 200,000 South Korean troops. Oh, and another side event is going to be happening. This red country here is going to break away from the North Koreans, and the North Koreans will just allow it to because and that country's capital is going to go there. That may be mainly because I want to confine this a little bit more to the Korean Peninsula. Back to what I was saying. This encirclement here is 200,000 troops, which is almost half of the entire Korean army. This thing's goal was to originally go after. Wait, let me check. No. Original goal was to go after the northern half of Korea, specifically where this red country is. But now it can't do that, also including these ports here. But it's kind of stuck. So its new main goal is to try and reach the capital. So what it's gonna do, it's going to attack by trying to spearhead towards the coastline, trying to cut Korea in half. Korea sees this and is going to pull troops down from here, which is going to cause the South Koreans to the Southern Koreans to push back, to help push back against this. But then the Koreans start another front line, a big one down here to go towards the capital. All of this tiny thing here, it's gone. But then, after seeing this failure, these troops, with very little coordination going around Japan, for the Sea of Japan, would decide to try and make a spearhead to cut off this section, which has a bunch of troops. A lot of them are evacuating towards the capital, but their goal is to trap them. And they do that successfully. But then these guys are getting really close to the capital, and they're threatening to cut off a lot of the armies. And that's today's update. And that is what it's gonna look like. So that's the Korea Japan update. And a majority of the stuff that is going to happen in Europe. But the first thing that'll happen, I think I can remove that now. is Uganda. They're actually getting a breakaway. A blue Horn of Africa country is going to break away from Uganda. Its goal? To try its best to be an East African empire to stop the potential threat from these Europeans. So its movement is really powerful, and also just to stop them from being controlled by a foreign power in Uganda. And this thing is going to try to spearhead towards the capital, and many of the villages are really fond of this. So the Ugandans will not be able to respond to this giant rebellion. And then but then they finally push back with the militaries. But that makes Uganda look weak, which is going to cause the yellow Horn of African thingy to attack, and it is also going to do really well. This Ugandan thing is really unpopular with the governments, with the people of Uganda. And this thing is going to collapse, and another country is going to break away. A dark green South Sudan nation is going to reappear. This is not South Sudan. Maybe it is, just a different color. It's a different South Sudanese government, and its goals to, join up with Sudan and potentially be a good ally. Then the only country declares war, and I don't think Uganda is doing too well in this. And then another country's gonna break away. Another red rebellion right next to the capital, capturing all of these northern provinces of Uganda. And this one is going to capture the capital and therefore the entirety of Uganda. So let's look at what all this looks like in the end. So this is what it's going to look like in the end. This country here, this yellow one, is going to get all this land. The orange one is going to get this land. A blue one is going to be here with this one. The green one is here with this one. And yeah, the new Ugandan government. Let's actually fix that a little. Yeah, that looks better. And we have to add capitals to these two. This ones will just stay the same. And there and there. And that's what the Horn of Africa looks like now. And another thing, some small expansions from the purple team into Africa. Kind of like, and the expansions will be a little bit more random. No, it's gonna be pretty big ones though. Maybe not too big, but just small. And so will the Bulgarians' expansions. And these guys. These guys will continue to go down the coastlines, and that's the coastline they're taking. And this is the rest of the. And this is the rest of the territory they're going to take. And a tiny bit more. Yep, that's all of it. But also some other expansions from these other countries, like the South Sudanese country. New South Sudan is going to expand just a tiny bit more. And so will, Sudan. And this guy will stay the same, but Uganda will expand a little bit. Specifically around this rivery area. They wouldn't reach this thingy down here. And they will look like this. And maybe one or two more updates. One of them is it's gonna be in Europe, where this thing is gonna. Where's this guy's capital? Huh? Oh, that's the wrong layer. I can remove that. I can remove that. capital that's not actually on the capital spots, and the capital. This thing is going to be about Poland. Poland is going to do an expansion into this blue country. Its goal is to mainly just try to get a little bit of land. Well, that's to make itself be like a big major power in the world. Poland wants to be a big power, clearly. So they're going to invade this country to get that status, and they're going to invade, take this, and yeah, they are going to, well, and yeah. Let's look at this peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty. Poland will be getting that territory, and as for their capital, it's going to be moved to down there. And one final update, Poland is going to be buying some land from Russia. Why, you may ask? Russia is kind of out of money. Despite these trade routes, the wars have, specifically in Central Asia, have made them go around. A majority of their economy has came from these trade routes.
No, you're in a...
If you heard any of that, don't worry. Back to what I was saying. Russia's economy was mainly centralized on these trade routes. But with the wars that they caused, mainly because of this alliance, back to what I was saying again, might keep getting distracted. Russia's economy is crashing. A majority of Russia's economy has been focused on these trade routes they have. They built them to make a sort of shortcut to get from Europe to Asia. But with all these wars going on and rebuilding, that just won't happen. People won't go through them. They're going around. And their economy is crashing. Really bad. They're almost at the point of collapsing. So they're going to buy some land from Poland. They are going to sell land to Poland and some other surrounding countries to maybe help with this problem. Let's see what those look like. So this is what it's all going to look like. We're going to start with Poland. Poland is going to gain this land, and this land. Overlap with trade routes. They get that. This blue thing is going to get this. This Bulgarian thing will get that and that. Mainly going over the trade route. This country will get this as for coastline, and this for trade route. And this country will get this and this, again for a tiny bit of trade route. But also, the purple country is going to get this tiny bit of land, again for trade route. And this blonde country is going to get a little bit of land from here and here, not for trade route. And Siberia is also going to get a little bit of land from Russia. And Finland is going to buy this land, this land, this land, and this land. Mainly for the trade route. And a bunch of resources. So if you can't tell, Russia just lost a lot of land, but they kind of had to. And they may think about selling this Baltic land, this Turkish land. And, yeah, that's everything that happened in between the discovery of the Americas and what currently is happening in the Americas. Oh, except that. Another thing. I guess that's the end of this episode. We're going to be checking a little bit more over here next episode. Starting with that, going over to here, and figuring other stuff out. So, hope you enjoyed today's episode. See you in the next episode, and bye!